Hey everyone, I hope you are doing well. So today we are going to be looking at my reports from like my primary school and my long-term special needs school that I went to. Now I'm not going to read like everything because it would just take too long. So before the education healthcare plan came along, the in 90 what was it in accordance to section 7 of the Education Act 1981 and Education Special Needs Regulations 1983, the following statement is made by the Oxfordshire County Council. So this is a draft statement of a special needs well, you could say it's like an education healthcare plan, and I needed one of these because I had a speech impairment and I was like delayed. So I'm going to read this to you now. So if I look down, that's why Michelle is severely delayed in her learning achievements. She has a speech and language difficulty. She's found reading and writing and numeracy difficult and requires individual support and encouragement to enable her to gain confidence in the areas. She is physically very underconfident and needs to explore more in this area of development within a secure setting. What does that mean? Socially and emotionally, Michelle has become isolated and tends to choose solitary activities, not enjoying play activities with her peers. We'll come on to why, like in a moment. She is immature in her behaviour and skills generally, and she still requires help with her speech and communication. Small goals in all areas will be important. So I just want to touch on this and how like outdated, what was it? You wouldn't read this now, what was it, in the like education healthcare plan, okay? No, to say like isolated and that, yes, why was I choosing not to like socialize with my peers? One, I was being bullied and my primary school did nothing about it. Two, the teachers didn't like understand my needs. Right, I'm just gonna open the window because it's quite warm in. So the teachers didn't understand like my, say needs. They didn't know how to cope with me. I mean, come on. Michelle requires a small group help and individual attention to extend and develop her learning skills, as well as basic skills in literacy and numeracy. So I remembered this. Was I put in a small group? No, I wasn't. I did ask like my mum and dad, like, did they think that I was, say isolated because of my speech and language? And they said, well, you was quiet, but you did want to join in, but because of the bullies, that's why you kind of shy away. And I remember clearly, like from about a 5 up to maybe 6 or 7, I was fine. But then in my later years, what happened was that the kids just got nasty. So she acquires a special structured learning program that fits her level of development. Well, that didn't happen. She acquires a great deal of encouragement and praise and attention paid to her own sense of self-image and personal confidence. She needs to be helped in a safe and structured setting to play and interact with other children. She needs to continue a individual speech therapy and attention paid to her physical development. Michelle would be best placed in a school which is structured to meet her needs of slow learning children with development delays. She acquires a group work and individual attention to help her set realistic goals. And then there's got a was it a suitable, like a school which was for children with emotional and learning difficulties kind of needs. Wow, that's taken 5 minutes to do, guys. So that was a statement which made me go to a special needs like a school, which was absolutely amazing. Like, I got there in 1990 and something happened. Okay, something happened when I got there in 1990. I was 10. Yeah, I think I went in 1989, but it was like September time, so I always say 1990, but yeah. And I remember going there and thinking, wow, this school is amazing. Like, they go out on day trips, you know, it's smaller classes, the teachers are friendly, and it was really fantastic. I absolutely loved going there. And because I didn't really need to worry about being kind of misunderstood, because the teachers and the TAs took their time with me. And like the other kids, I mean, there was other kids there with, you know, behavioural problems. Basically, what was it, they just got so frustrated with mainstream, so that's why they were sent there. Like, a lot of my friends who are, you know, like me now, were 40, you know, 1 and older, they all left. What was it, we left with pretty much no like qualifications, but we have been successful like in our lives. You know, we got married, we got kids, we got say businesses, or say good jobs. You know, we survived. So I really thank, what was it, the people who was at the primary school and the education psychologists and that, who sent me there, because even though at 14 I felt that I shouldn't have been there, looking back now, it made me the person I am today. Right, so this, I'm not going to read it all. I mean, this is like loads of papers, okay, but like basically this is the 14 plus review. So yeah, we're gonna read some of it, I think, but not all. It's quite a bit. So, recommended and objectively by the last review to develop spelling skills so that she becomes 100%, because I was only like 60%. Okay, to improve her like punctuation and grammar, particularly awareness of past tense. Yeah, see, this here is classic like a dyslexia, and they still didn't really like pick this up in kind of like my special needs like setting. And it just goes on to her, what was it, to just improve like say like my maths and counting up to 100, what was it, to a pound, so 100 pennies, you know, maths and English and science and food technology. So it says maths, Michelle is now working on a SMP, frustrated assessment scheme, and she's passed Amber stage. See, they had a different way of doing maths, like in this special needs like a school, then say the mainstream school, and it just goes on to kind of say about, you know, using the calculator. Like English was, Michelle can read simple text fairly fluently, but needs to development strategies for tackling new words. And again, what was it, like, this is classic like a dyslexia. Like, I can only really, like, when a new word comes, really speaking, I kind of have to read it over and over again and make sure that I know the word. It's from memory and not by, you know, sounds or nothing. And it just says that Misha is becoming increasingly more confident. Misha has worked very hard at becoming independent writer and has improved. And it goes on. Like, my favourite one is this PE in games, and this was my best subject, by the way. Michelle is the most participant in aspect of the subject and has shown interest in joining outside clubs. She has completed modules on a personal fitness, hockey, netball, basketball, aerobics. She has passed her physical activity section for the Duke of Edinburgh and is a regular member of Keen. Now, Keen is a charity that is run by students from Oxford and Brookes University. Michelle is now far more mobile and benefit from aerobics and personal fitness activities. And yeah, that was my most kind of favourite. Technology. Michelle has good skills and applies herself well. Food technology, not much really. Michelle has gained self-confidence this year and able to work independently. So that was key stage, level 1, 3 and 4. Michelle, and it goes on and on and on about each kind of subject and that. So that was interesting. What's this? Oh, this is the background. So basically, Michelle has been known to the speech and language since 1984, and she's referred by the health visitor. She her first saw in 1985. Regular therapy has begun, and it just goes on about that. Since this time, Michelle had periods of regular therapy with a period review, attention and behaviour. Michelle both cooperates and concentrates well. She also works hard with the classroom assistants between her visits. And then understanding and stuff. So Michelle understands well with her daily needs and line. And yeah, so this report, it goes on and on and on. And it's interesting because it's one of those things whereby, you read it and you think, oh wow, and I mean I could do more videos on this, but what I really wanted to kind of say is, we're going through something now with Rebecca, and I think, I mean, I'm not with Rebecca, I'm not in her shoes, yeah, but I know how it is to be, say, different, outcast, but Rebecca fits in really well. She's very sociable, but this can be a downside as well, because she's over sociable, and we don't want to take that away from her, but we also want to make sure that she kind of knows the social rules and that. So it's interesting because when she's going to go up, I mean she's going to year 2, I think by year 3 or 4 we shall see whether or not she's coping, and if she is, then we'll continue with the mainstream. But as I said to Darren, it's very important, nowadays, special schools that I used to go to, which is still open by the way, they've turned into academies, and they have students who go there, they can do GCSEs, they can get real support. So I do think that as a parent, as my parents went through, my parents was they just went with the flow, I think. But with me and Dan, we are very much aware of her kind of needs, her strengths and her weaknesses, and it's very important that we support her. And with the education healthcare plan, I mean I will do another one about this and how long it's taken, but if you are still watching, then thank you. But literally, we were speaking about it in November, they got started in December, and it's now July, So that's a long time, isn't it? January, February, March, April, May, June. That's 7 months, which is an awful long time. But apparently she has a one-to-one and stuff. But and they needed the education healthcare plans so that they can get the money, you know, the funding. So I do think, like, sometimes, what was it, schools and that can, and professionals can kind of like diddle around and stuff, but it's up to us as parents to, you know, challenge that and to say, well, come on, what was it, what is going on? Like, why is my daughter, you know, so far behind? Oh well, it's her development, like body functions, you know. Oh, it's her development, like, needs. Yeah, so what? You are the teachers, yeah. What was it? She's got a TA, yeah. It's been a year now. What was it? She should really be, like, improving. So I don't think that she has a one-to-one all the time. And the reason I know this is because I have worked in mainstream schools. You have, what is it? You are employed to work with that one person, but then if he or she doesn't acquire, like, one-to-one, and I mean at all times, like, no, Matthew would, then they go off and they help other kids, and that's fine. But no, it's like that money has been put there for, like, for Rebecca and other children who acquires one-to-one, but they don't. And this is why Darren and myself, I've kind of said, right, we're gonna, like, I make sure that we do some work with her when she gets home and she has a structure, and we're just doing the, what is it, the very kind of basics really, and that, and what was it, we can see a improvement in her handwriting already. It's only been a couple of days, but no, 20 minutes, that's all it takes, and we will build up to, like, no longer. But it's like, we don't want her to go to a special needs, like, ESOL, but, like, if it takes her to a better place, like it did me. Like, I went to that, like, special needs, like, ESOL, and after about a year, what was it, I wasn't no shy. I had many friends, and that I fitted in well. I found my passion, and that was sports, and I think I was more aware of, like, myself and stuff, and I wanted to, I speak more. I wanted to, you know, shine more, and I'd done a lot of things that was out of my comfort zone as well. And I had friends there who I would say was like Rebecca, who was very sociable, very popular, but, like, also was very kind of, like, emotional as well. I didn't really show my emotions at, like, ESOL that much. I did when I was in mainstream, but, like, when I got to, like, my special needs one, there wasn't any need to. So I am going to be watching and listening and just observing her behaviour in that, because at the end of the day, what was it, there's nothing wrong with special needs, like I saw. I mean, Matthew's doing so well, but at the same time, I know that she would be disappointed if she couldn't be with her friends. But as time goes on, will those friends be real friends? Because we've seen this already, like, this year. There's a few friends that she was playing with, like, last year, and they're not now. And you could say, well, that's just kids, but kids can be horrible, you know, and even at, like, a special needs, like, that's all they can as well. But I think with that, the teachers, they deal with it in a much more practical kind of way, and it's much more, better. Where, like, in the playground, there's lots of kids, and what was it? I mean, she's very much, she will tell a teacher if someone's, but then that could get her, what was it, kind of noticed by other kids, and oh, you're a snitch and all that. But I tell her that at the end of the day, what was it, if you feel uncomfortable, yeah, if you feel like upset or you're being bullied, then please do tell the teacher or tell mummy and daddy, and then we can deal with it. So folks, thanks for watching today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Very, very different, I know, but I think it's very important to kind of like understand that sometimes we have different abilities, we have disabilities and that, and it's just like what we was like then, like I'm not really like that now. And it's the same with a lot of children that I used to work with who are now like adults. Like I know a few kids who I used to work with in 1997 who couldn't talk, who just had sounds, and now they are talking and they're working on a farm or in the shop and that, and it's really wonderful to see that. So if you are a parent watching this and you kind of think, oh no, what are we going to do, then just remember, yeah, go with your gut. If you feel that your child needs a specialist setting, then get them in. I know it's really hard sometimes because a lot of special needs like schools have closed down and mainstream schools have got SEND units and stuff, but it's very important that you research and you basically kind of tell them how you feel, but also how it will benefit like your child. So yeah, anyway guys, if you've got any questions and that, leave it in the comments, hit that like button and subscribe button, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye for now.